This is my hobby, the greatest hobby. Hello everyone, Hobbyist here. We are back at it again with our Talisman character exploration guide. And previously, we have covered the Highlander and his brutish strength inside of this particular expansion. But now, we are more than halfway done with the Highland expansion. If you haven't yet already, hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to hit that bell icon, because I feel it's important to me to be able to share this information with you guys. Because for all you Talisman fans out there, picking the right character could always mean the difference between a successful victory or defeat. So let's go ahead and get on to this next character. The character that we're going to be covering inside of our Highland character exploration is a benevolent but mischievous creature who, although small in stature, possesses amazing magical abilities to aid those who have lost their way. This is the Sprite. Go ahead and get inside of the Sprite's character card and see what it is that she has to offer. As you can see here, strength of 1. That is very much not good. But you can see she's got a mighty craft of 5, making her the craftiest character inside of the Highland expansion. And as we can see here on her card, we've got this eagle head logo. That is the symbol of the Highland expansion. So if you are not particularly interested in any of the components that are regarding the Highland expansion, then this is an easy way for you to be able to separate it from the rest of your Talisman adventures. If you want to learn more about the Highland expansion, I'll leave a link up top, so that way you guys can check out what it is that is a part of the Highland expansion. But moving forward with the rest of her character card, we can see that, what in the world? We just keep getting one bad thing after another. She's only got 1 fate. She's got 4 lives. She's a good character and starts in the forest. So, even though there is no strategical position point when it comes to the Sprite starting location, we know if we expand everything out inside of our Talisman adventures that the Sprite is right in front of where the woodland entrance would be. And if it's an area that she is particularly interested in exploring in that regard, then she has immediate access to do so. Otherwise, she's still very far away from the Highland region itself, if you're just playing with the Highland board. In comparison, she's a lot closer than the rogue, but other than that, there's no other strategical position. So, moving on with the rest of her character card, we can see that she has 3 character abilities. First of which says, you begin the game with 2 spells. Okay, so this is not anything that is out of the usual when it comes to characters. We have a plethora of characters that we've talked about in the past that start out with spells, whether it's 1 spell or 2 spells. But this is where things start to get interesting. With the Sprite, her second ability states, during the game, you always have at least 2 spells. Whenever casting a spell reduces your total to less than 2, draw another spell and immediately to replace it. So, instead of cycling 1 spell at a time in comparison to most other characters who are spell cyclers, the Sprite is able to cycle 2 spells at a time. So, that is definitely something that is way more beneficial in comparison to anything else that we've had before us. Because inside of the Highland expansion, there is only 10 different spells that are aside from the base game spells, of course, because you do need the base game in order to play with the rest of the expansions, which I'll leave a tutorial up top for. But cycling 2 spells gives you an evening out point in order to competing with the rest of these other characters. And then this third ability is not so much useful when it comes to the Highland region, but it definitely has its other uses in other areas, which is, you may evade creatures and characters in the woods and forest. So when it comes to just the outer region, there's several wood spaces. And then, of course, when it comes to the forest, this essentially means that you are negating having to fight anything inside of the forest. It's honestly pretty good from that standpoint, especially when you play with the Cataclysm board, because things are going to be very different in comparison to just the base game. But other than that, what do I think of the Sprite overall? The fact that she can cycle through 2 spells at a time in comparison to the 1 that most characters are accustomed to is definitely something that can be really good. Because again, with the various spell combinations that you have, that you can gain, especially with more expansions, you can get more spell combinations. Being able to know when to use those spells, either to benefit yourself, or to modify the terrain, or to sabotage the players, which is what the purpose of spells are, that's essentially how they classify themselves, is definitely something that you want to keep on the top of your mind when playing the Sprite. But as we saw, her fate count isn't very good, so having 1 chance against the Reaper, the Harbinger, or the Werewolf is definitely something that we don't want to have happen. And the fact that she sucks at strength means that other characters who are strength specialists are going to be able to take advantage of those particular weaknesses. But other than that, this concludes the Sprite. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.